one that wasn't too expensive. So let's do this. I'm so excited. I haven't had crepes in so long. And a ton of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. You are going to need. So I thought today we could chat confidence. First of all, ask yourself this question. There's no such thing as failure. Read it every morning, start journaling, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a list of social media shouldn't be a place that you're scared to be on. The best way to build my confidence and to really kind of change how I think is Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, I'm Gabrielle. Today's video is going to be slightly different. I didn't really know what I wanted to film this week. I really wanted to make some crepes, but we do need kind of a special kind of pan to cook them. I tried last time to do it on one of our regular pan. Didn't go well. They were too thick. They just stuck. It was a nightmare. So I just thought, why not try to find a special pan in the supermarket nearby. We're gonna go in a minute. I have a recipe that I've made for maybe 15 years and everybody is absolutely in love with them every time I make them. They're a success. I just thought, why not show you my recipe and talk, like have a chat on a specific subject, and I just thought it could be interesting. Now we're gonna go try to find the special pan because we have induction kind of stove, and it's an absolute nightmare to find this pan. Like there's a specific pan, it's called Crêpes. There's like the machine Crêpes and there's also like the pan, but for the pan it's really hard to find them for induction. Quite funny how warm and wintry I dressed considering it's like 15 degrees outside today. Okay, so I don't think there's one. One that wasn't too expensive. So we're back. I've put my hair up. We're gonna start by actually making the crepes, and then we're gonna have our little talk, just because I feel like you're not going to be able to hear me whisking away all the ingredients. So we're gonna talk when we're actually cooking the mixture. So let's do this. I'm so excited. I haven't had crepes in so long. You are going to need 4 eggs, some milk of your choice, 2 identical mugs, some melted butter, some flour, some sugar, some vanilla sugar, some vanilla extract, a little bit of baking powder, and some cinnamon, and a whisk in a bowl. You're going to start by cracking the 4 eggs and making very sure that you're whisking super well after washing your hands, of course. And the best is when you can see the bubbles. That's the best. Then you're going to add some sugar. It's really to taste. Like I don't have a specific amount that I put in. I will test after, and then I put some vanilla sugar. It's just like the best. Then whisk away, and some melted butter, but make sure that it's cold, otherwise it could really ruin your recipe. And then whisk away again. Then you're going to take your 2 identical mugs. You're going to use it to pour the flour and the milk so that you can have like the same amount each time. And what you're going to do is that you're going to use 3 mugs for the milk and 2 mugs for the flour. I used like a regular milk that my boyfriend had opened, and then I finished it off with dairy-free milk just because I don't usually drink dairy, but he had some left over, so I wanted to use it. And then I like to start with the liquid first, just so that it doesn't like clump up. So I pour in the milk first, and then little by little I add in the flour. And then you make sure to whisk really well in between, and then you just keep on going. And when you're using dairy-free milk, sometimes it can make like the mixture be a bit too thin, so I like to add up a little bit of flour if I feel like I need to. And then I just add a little bit of baking powder and a ton of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. There's so many good things in cinnamon. And then a little bit of vanilla extract. We are now in the kitchen. The mixture is done, so now we're gonna cook them. I've washed this baby that I bought this morning. It's actually really cute. You are going to need a plate to put the babies on them. You're going to need a spatula, like kind of a soup spatula, to pour the mixture in. Something I would have preferred would have been a flat wooden spatula. That's what I used with my parents, but they didn't have anything like that in the store, so we just needed another one like these. So that's actually good. It's just to like flip them if you want to do it that way. And I would say another spatula just to kind of help. And yeah, we're gonna get started. So we're gonna put it on kind of low heat. I'm not sure how quickly this one is going to heat up. If you're not sure that it's not going to stick, you can use some oil. You kind of put some on a paper towel and you put it right over the bottom. I'm just gonna check with the first one if I need to do that or not, because I'm pretty sure it's not gonna stick. It's a non-stick. I think I put a bit too much. The first one is never great. Anyway, so I thought today we could chat on like confidence. I have a hard time building my confidence. Every time I see my therapist, it's really something that comes up many times. I realize that a lot of issues and things that I'm dealing with are due to my anxiety and my lack of self-confidence. It's really something that I'm trying to work on. It's really something that together we're trying to kind of build back for me, or build, because honestly it's never been there. But I'm sure there's so many of us like feeling like we can't do something, we're not good enough, or other people are better than us, or you can always find someone who can do something better than you, or like comparing yourself, or I don't know, like so many things. And we've talked about it, like I feel like more last time in therapy. First of all, he really taught me a lot of things that could really help, and second of all, I've been thinking about it more and more. I've been watching videos and stuff like that on how to build your confidence, and I just feel like, first of all, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Absolutely not. Of course, it's never going to be like easy, and it's just not possible for it to happen that way. It's something that's going to take time. It's something that you are going to have to work on for a long time. For the past few days, it's really something that I've been really working on, but also thinking about a lot. And there's a few things that I've thought about or come across or we've talked about with my therapist that I wanted to share with you as well. Something that we've talked about last time that I didn't think about before were rational and irrational thoughts. So I was telling her about working, and I was like, yeah, I'm just sometimes not sure of myself when I kind of want to offer my services for a project or stuff like that. Sometimes I just chicken out because I'm like, I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna do a good enough job for me. I'm a perfectionist as well, so that's always a struggle. And she was like, okay, but first of all, ask yourself this question: are your doubts founded on actual facts? Like, for example, they're asking you to translate something in like the nuclear business, and you've never dealt with anything in the nuclear business. There are a lot of technical words, and so it means that you just do not have the skills to actually do the job. That's rational. But if it's like, no, I'm not sure I can do this, but there's no proof of that, that's irrational, and that's just your fear talking and your lack of self-confidence talking. But it doesn't mean that you cannot do it, but you probably can do it. You just tell yourself you cannot. And so when you're in the situation of not being sure if you can do something or not, ask yourself that question: do I have facts? And that's something I keep coming back to, because I'm like, this is actually brilliant. So many times I'm like, no, you cannot, I can't, I'm not sure. Sometimes it's just because I haven't done it before. Other times it's just like, I'm just not sure, and I'm just like, I don't know, I can't do it, when actually I just don't know. I'm just trying, and I'm just like learning in the process, but it doesn't mean that I cannot do it. It just means that I'm in the zone where I'm learning. Another thing we've done from the beginning, and I really struggled with, was she asked me to write a list of my qualities and my skills. And I really struggled, and I almost like texted my friends and family asking them to tell me, because I just could list like 3 things, and I ended up writing a list of like 8 things, I think. And when I saw her after, I could tell her 3 things, I could list them, the 3 things, and that was it. Yeah, that was just like hard. I was like, my God, you just need to work on that. But if you have a list and you can come back to it often and you can read it, and I would say even read it every morning, this is such a confidence booster to see what you can do on paper every day, or even record yourself and listen to it, or ask someone to record it for you if you don't like to listen to your own voice, and just listen to it many times a day, or in the car, or whilst you're meditating in the morning or getting ready. It's so amazing to hear it and to like, that's what I can do. I can do something. I've really been doing that more and more, and I'm going to start journaling, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a list of skills and my qualities and read that every day, because I'm sure this is going to help. Another thing we've talked about a lot is failure, and I'm someone who's very, very scared of failure, and I've been told so many times, and it's just something I'm having a hard time actually learning, is failure is not a failure. It's not trying that is a failure. Failure will either bring you redirection, if it's not something that you need, or lessons. You will learn from failing at doing things. You will learn how not to do something, or better ways to do something. There is no such thing as failure. When you see someone who is very successful, success often is seen as the opposite of failure, when actually it's not. To succeed, you need to fail before. So many big company owners, you see them and you're like, oh my God, that's so successful. And you don't know that they've tried maybe like 50 ventures before that haven't worked out. And it's like they've learned from their failures. They've learned from them. They were lessons and not failures. And that's really something that I'm trying to tell myself more and more. It's like, even if something doesn't work out the way you want it to, it will have taught you something, and that's a big win actually. Another thing is, I know that my self-confidence is not only applied to work, it's also applied to me kind of standing up for myself, affirming myself, even my feelings. My therapist said, you know what, just the fact that you're feeling something is valid. Just because you're feeling it, nobody can tell you like, this is not true, this is false, you're feeling it the wrong way. It's your feeling, it's your own feeling. So like, just trust your feelings, and I would say trust your instincts, because they're so right all the time. It's like kind of a gut feeling. Like if you feel like something is right, go for it. If you feel like, I'm not really sure, this doubt, treat it as a warning that maybe you can do this differently, maybe this is not the path for you, but also maybe it's just your fear talking, and it's just an adventure, something you're not sure about, but it doesn't mean that it cannot work out. Other things that I'm really working on to build my confidence is I'm changing things a lot. The first thing, and I'm pretty sure you've heard that so many times, declutter your social media. Declutter Instagram, declutter Twitter. That's really something that I'm trying to do more and more, because I've noticed that, first of all, I'd like to point out that it's really, 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 really not the fault of the creator. It's not your fault either. That's just the way it is. And sometimes I'm just scrolling and I'm seeing people either that don't inspire me anymore, which is okay as well, we're on different paths, but also sometimes people that are making me feel bad about something. It can be my body, it can be my career, it can be what I'm doing in life, it can be my apartment even. I've learned either to try to get past that if I really love what they're doing, and I'm just trying to shift my thinking, but most often than not, if I feel like it's not working for me, I'm not pushing it, I'm either muting the account to go back to it later, or I'm just unsubscribing. Social media shouldn't be a place that you're scared to be on and scared to like scroll through your feed. It really shouldn't be. You have the right to change who you are and what you want and what you're interested in, but also to make sure that what you're doing in your daily life works for you. And if following a certain account doesn't work for you, just unfollow it. It shouldn't be a place where you doubt yourself or you're not happy. The second thing I'm going to start doing, and that's actually going to be next week's video, is I'm going to start journaling. It's something that, first of all, I've been meaning to do for so long, but I don't know, I just didn't know where to start. I think was kind of afraid of it, because it's very like kind of deep. You have to think, you have to write, you have to explain express yourself. And I think I was just not ready for it, but it's also something that I've been talking about in therapy for a while. And then last week when we talked about like confidence and stuff like that, I was like, the best way to build my confidence and to really kind of change how I think is to journal. I'm gonna take you on that journey as well because I love being productive. I love getting things done and improving myself, and it's amazing. But first of all, I don't think productivity means working all the time. I don't think it means that. For me at least, I think it's about when you should be working and when you should be resting so that you can be productive when you work. I just like to be productive, but also I do want to take care of myself because I think that to get anywhere in life, to be happy, you just have to work on yourself. It's not going to come like that. That's just not going to happen. So I'm just thinking by journaling, this is the way that I personally can improve myself by writing whenever I feel like I need to. I'm not gonna try to force myself to write every day. I'm going to try to do it every day because I do think it's going to be important for me. But I do think that by writing how I feel and why I feel that I can, it's kind of by doing it, in writing, I do think it's just the best way to really get into the root of why you're not confident, why you think the way you do, why you doubt yourself on certain things. What I'm going to try to do, I think, is to start by journaling, writing down things, answering a few questions, if like prompts, if I don't know what to say, and after that to meditate. I think that by doing this in this order and just like maybe meditating for 5-10 minutes afterwards, I can really process what I'm writing, process how I'm thinking, process the affirmations that I'm going to be writing and telling myself every day. And I think that's how I can reprogram my brain in a way. And so I'm very excited to do that. I'm just like so looking forward to see how that's going to end up feeling like in a few months when I'll be writing and I'll be doing things and I'm like, I've changed so much. Yeah, that's how far I've gone right now. Are done. There's quite a few. I haven't counted actually. There's 16, and usually in France we would eat them either with sugar or jam. My favorite personally are strawberry and apricot. Oh my god. But also some chocolate spread. So I have nocciolata, which is an organic dairy-free chocolate spread. I do have to taste them. I do, of course I do. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna do, I think, jam. What I usually do is that I put them on like half of my crepe because then I'm going to fold. I know that some people roll it. I've never understood that. For me, it's all about the folding. Oh my god, it's been a while. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of different video, and I would love if you could let me know like where you are on your confidence journey in the comments. I think it's really something that a lot of people struggle with, and we kind of feel like a lot of people have it together and actually they don't. It's just like they're maybe better at hiding it. So yeah, I would just love to hear that. Love if you could make some crepes and like send me a photo on Instagram and tag me. I'm at Gabrielle Snow. Do subscribe if you've enjoyed the video or would like to hear more from me, and like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.